At its core, all ancient Greek philosophy, whether the Stoicism we have studied, Epicureanism, or Aristotelian ethics, has one ultimate goal, a single point of arrival, eudaimonia. This term is often translated as happiness, but this is a poor translation. Eudaimonia means, more precisely, human flourishing, the good life, or living in accordance with your best potential. Eudaimonia is the state of excellence, of having your soul in good order, and our philosophical effort is the study of the means to achieve it. The crucial question, then, that divided the schools of Athens for centuries, was, what constitutes the supreme good? What is the single ingredient without which eudaimonia is impossible? For the common person, the answer is power, wealth, health. But for the philosopher, the answer must be something that is unassailable and durable. Let's delve into the debate about the supreme good, starting with the rigorous path we already know, and then comparing it with the most influential thinkers of the time. For the Stoic, the answer to the question of the supreme good is singular and non-negotiable: virtue is the only good. And vice is the only evil. Period. When the Stoics speak of virtue, they are not talking about morality in the modern sense, but about excellence of character, excellence of the rational will, or prohairesis. A virtuous life is one that is in harmony with nature, meaning, in harmony with reason and universal logic, logos. This concept is radical. It means that wealth, health, beauty, and reputation are not goods, but indifferents. They are preferred indifference. It's better to have them than not to have them, but they have no moral value and cannot contribute to your eudaimonia. If you are a wealthy and virtuous man, you are happy because of the virtue, and not because of the wealth. The unmatched advantage of the Stoic model is invulnerability. If eudaimonia depends only on virtue, and virtue is entirely under your control, the dichotomy of control applied to the good, then your happiness is unassailable by fate. You are free. This is the Stoic teleological view. The end, telos, of life is to live in harmony with nature. To understand the rigorous nature of Stoicism, we need to compare it with the great thinker who preceded it, Aristotle. For Aristotle, in his Nicomachean Ethics, virtue is undoubtedly the central element of eudaimonia, but it is not the only one. He defines eudaimonia as an activity of the soul in conformity with virtue, flourishing, or life well lived. However, Aristotle was more realistic and less radical than the Stoics. For him, the flourishing of a human being requires certain external goods. He argued that a man cannot be truly eudaimon, have a good life, if he is tortured, if he loses all his children, or if he lives in extreme poverty. He needs a minimum amount of health, material goods, luck, and friends to fully exercise virtue. Virtue is necessary, but not sufficient. The difference is crucial. For the Stoic, Marcus Aurelius would be eudaimon even if he were a beggar and sick, as long as he kept his reason intact. For Aristotle, the sick beggar, although he could be courageous and just, virtuous, would not achieve the fullness of eudaimonia, because his flourishing would be cut short by the lack of external goods. Aristotelian happiness, therefore, is vulnerable to fortune. If Stoicism and Aristotelianism differ in the means and the sufficiency of virtue, Epicureanism contrasts in its very end. The great rival of the Stoa was the garden of Epicurus. For Epicurus, the supreme good is not virtue itself, but pleasure, hedon. But we need to understand what he really meant. He was not referring to vulgar or excessive pleasure. True pleasure is ataraxia, absence of disturbance of the soul, and eudaimonia, absence of physical pain. The Epicurean seeks eudaimonia by living simply, in community with friends, far from politics and stress. Virtue, for Epicurus, is not the end, but a means to ataraxia. We are virtuous, prudent, just, only because virtue minimizes pain and maximizes peace. If dishonesty could guarantee peace without consequences, the Epicurean would choose it. The Stoic inverts the formula, we are peaceful, ataraxia, as a consequence of being virtuous. Ataraxia is a byproduct of well-applied reason. If a Stoic needed to sacrifice his own life, or ataraxia, to fulfill a just duty, he would do so without hesitation, for virtue is his only good. The Epicurean, in this case, would tend to withdraw from suffering. The contrast between the two schools is the confrontation between virtue as an end, Stoicism, and virtue as a tool for pleasure, Epicureanism. The pursuit of eudaimonia reveals the fundamental difference between the great ancient ethics. The path of Aristotle is the path of complete flourishing, but it is hostage to luck. The path of Epicurus is the path of peace through withdrawal and the minimization of desire, but it is hostage to pain. The Stoic path is the most difficult, but the most rewarding. It is the path that requires you to ruthlessly separate what is yours, your will, from what is not. By placing your happiness solely in the internal domain of virtue, Stoicism is the only school that offers the promise of an unconditional eudaimonia, a good life that cannot be stolen by anything that fortune might throw in your way. This is your choice: vulnerable happiness, peace through withdrawal, or invincibility through reason.